Hasn't been a cold open for a couple of weeks, I've noticed.
Yeah, because
have we not been funny enough?
yeah, it also has taken a lot of time, and I've not been getting to edit these until late. So, yeah.
So there's not going to be one this week either. Hello and welcome to the Cowboy4Game Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. I'm your host Jake. Tonight I'm joined by Ben.
Hello.
And no one else. It's just one of those weekends.
To be fair, it's Bragg's getting ready to go to Japan in the morning. So
Yep, Bragg is on the way to Japan and no one else cares. How was our week, Ben?
well, Tuesday night we didn't have locals.
True.
So the growing pains of new store ownership, so we didn't have a new locals. Having an allergic reaction to the This is going to be interesting. Lisp Ben will be coming shortly. And then today I won locals, so
You did.
I was happy. Yeah, pretty happy. Rescue Ace went all over the competition, and it was pretty good.
That's brought imagery that I don't ever want to have to think of again.
I only opened unplayable twice.
In
like the whole
games?
What?
In like 8 to 12 games?
Yeah, I think I played like 10. But
not ideal, but...
Yeah, only opened unplayable twice, which was fine, because I won one of the two. Because the other was against Leo, and I was just like, pass. I pass.
True. True.
I'm just going to pass. I'm sorry, I pass. Oh, no, I still didn't draw good enough? I pass. I didn't draw a playable card until like my 5th draw, and I was just like, oh, turns out if I pass, you can't do anything. I pass.
Yeah, it's, kind of like, I can't remember what the deck's called now. But yeah, if you don't put anything on the board, you don't die. My week. Tuesday obviously didn't happen. Thursday over at the other store did happen with a small number of people. It is the last time that I'll be playing Ice Jades for a little while. I'm putting them away.
They're not very good.
No.
Not at all.
Because I don't have the cards that make it good, it makes it very difficult to play. And I don't want to suffer through that anymore. I've decided that's not what I want to do.
That makes sense. Have you considered playing Rescue Ace?
No.
Would you consider playing Rescue Ace?
Never.
Yeah, too many purple cards or pink cards. Whatever the color of the trap cards are, red.
I don't mind trap cards. I just don't like that particular mechanic.
Of going set 4.
It's
a set 4.
Like for a set 4 deck, there's just a lot of shit going on that I really don't want to know about.
Yeah, that helps you OTK. It's fine.
Nah.
Just Jake, whenever he sees someone, or whenever Jake thinks about setting 4.
No, because today I debuted the new deck. Again, missing pieces because I slapped it together, slightly hungover this morning. Unchained.
Yes. How did that go for you?
It was fine.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's like quite consistent. It's just getting used to the lines of play is a bit tricky because it's no longer just, how do I get to a material to make the link to? It's like I have to make a different link to and then summon something else and make an Xyz and then something. Like it does some cool stuff. It sets up Triple D Wave King Caesar.
Yep.
So you've got a double like semi-omni negate. If they activate any card that tries to summon, you just like detach. Nope. Yeah. Once I get some extra cards, I will be able to play that to its full capacity.
Like, get some extra cards. What do you need?
Some extra deck stuff, mainly. Like, I think I have maybe all but 2 of the cards. The rest is just literally, I thought I had them in my binder, and then I've got there and I'm like,
they're
not here. So yeah, once I have
that
those.
Picks up on the new mics. Just waits till he gets here, then turns off the siren. What if someone's been pulled over at the front of the house?
Maybe.
We
can't really find out.
Yes.
Besides that, I also bought 2 boxes of Duelist Nexus. My pulls were fucking terrible. They were good for other people. Like you got the Dino Xyz, Leo got the Synchro, and I got one of the links that I needed to be able to play the deck today. So like, although it was much more expensive than what I would have liked to have paid for the link, I got it. Other than the spell that like puts stuff into the spell and trap, there's not a lot that I actually want or need from this set.
Yeah, the further it goes on, the more I realize I kind of want Revolution Synchrons.
Oh, that too. I do need that.
Cards are really good.
Yeah. I'm not sure, because what are they sitting at price-wise at the moment? They're like
90 to 100.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to pay that much for them.
Yeah, I'm going to wait till I get back from Japan. Then I'll be like, how much are they? Could probably wait a little bit longer. It's a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'll need more cards for it as well. This is, it keeps becoming a problem that like I want to try these new decks, but then because I don't have like random ass shit from a while ago, I just can't play them.
But that's the good thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that you can use the random shit from a while
ago. I know. This is the issue that I'm having though, is that I don't personally have those cards.
What cards you need?
To do the Revolution thing, I need Regulus.
That's not old and random. That's recent and getting reprinted in the next month, so it's fine.
Is that how close the tins
Mega
are?
tins.
Is that how? Are they seriously that close?
They normally drop August, September.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, yeah. I guess I get the reprints then. Cool.
It's September tomorrow.
August tomorrow.
August tomorrow. Is it a 31-day month?
August is 31 days. Yes.
What about July?
Yes.
It is. Have you never done the thing where your knuckles tell you what month?
I do, but also I don't have to think about it all that often.
I think about it all the time because I always just go, oh, my knuckles will tell me, so I don't need to remember it. It's not information my brain needs to know. Like my 9 times tables. My brain doesn't need to know them. I can just look and go, oh, it's 36, yeah.
Fair enough.
No need to learn, kids.
And then in Master Duel, I, for whatever reason, decided just to go right to the end of the current festival. Don't know why. It's literally just the little nameplate that you get at the end.
No, I abandoned that. Like, the moment I finished those gems, I was like, bye.
Yeah, look, that's fair. I was just enjoying the deck, and I know there's probably not an opportunity for me to play that variant again. So
how did you go with the constant string of fucking lab players?
This is the thing, right? It was like a 50-50 whether I was like, okay, I can play through this, or, oh, shit, no. And it basically depended on what spell and trap removal I had. The funny thing that I had happen a couple of times is, like, I've set up my board and I've kept a couple cards in my hand, because I usually know how this one goes, but they, like, pitch one of the pieces of furniture and another card to set the welcome off turn.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. End phase, I'm going to Cosmic Cyclone it. You have lost 2 cards and all your resources.
Oh no. I made the well-educated decision of being like, I'm going to play Dark World.
Yeah.
Then invested in 3/4 of the deck and was like, I don't really want to spend any more on Dark World. So then I just played the event anyway with a half 3/4 finished Dark World deck and just kept playing until I eventually won games. I was just like, yep, look at the opening hand, look at my opponent, what they did, skip. Choose second every time.
Would it be that good if, like, you're missing the dangers, though? Because I feel like at least in the current...
danger.
yeah, possibly the worst one to have on its own.
But it was fine. Like, I got there eventually. But a lot of it was just, like, choose, go second. Look at what opponent does. Look at my hand, scoop. Or, there was, like, a cute interaction, though, that I found against Lab where you could nuke their board regardless. So, like, you'd summon the level 1 guy to their board, trigger the effect to discard the one that if it's discarded by an opponent's effect, it summons back, and then either nukes all monsters or nukes all spells and traps. But it chooses on resolution. So, it summons back, they read it and go, fuck, chain all their spells and trap cards, and then you just go, monsters. And then everything misses timing. It's like, oh yeah, cool. Easy win, thank you. So pretty much I just scooped if I didn't see that.
Because they've already banned the hand loop Dark World, haven't they? Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny.
There was a cute interaction where I was like, I'm literally just going to scoop. If my opponent starts playing lab cards and that setup's not in my hand, I'm scooping. Done. And then I hit like this weird point where, you know how Lady Lab rips a card out of your hand?
Yep.
For some reason, every single time it ripped my Dark World dealings. And I was like, what are we doing here? If Dark World Dealings was in my hand, that was the card that got ripped. And I was like, this is strange.
Yeah. I had, like, there was many inverted commas, different kinds of builds of Labyrinth. The one that I seemed to interact with most was people that just turboed into, like, Lady Lab hand rip like just trying to reduce as many cards from your hand as possible before you could start playing.
Yep.
Very unfun.
Yeah, I found that I ran into multiple variants, and those variants were: are they playing the starter deck, or are they playing the deck they built?
Yeah, there is that.
And if they were playing the starter deck, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of that Storming Mirror Force that you got back there, buddy.
Yeah, the Storming Mirror Force actually caused me quite a lot of problems because the funny interaction that I kept coming up with was once I get the big Dark Lord fusion on board,
Yep.
my fairies can't be targeted.
Yep.
So, like, I think it's Archfiend something or other that's like target a card in the field, destroy it, and then send a fiend from your deck. So they go to target my stuff, and they can't, and they're like, oh, I guess I target the field spell.
Sure.
But anyway, that festival's, I think, pretty much done today. So, yeah, if you didn't go in it, A, you didn't have to verse nearly as many trap decks, and B, you missed out on some gems.
Didn't want to have the chance. I was like, back to ranked. Off I go.
Yeah, I should jump back into rank. I might do that tonight.
I'm in like plat 3, I think.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
This is the furthest I've tried in a long time. Normally I just like get to like plat 5 and I'm like, I'm done.
Have you gotten to Master yet?
No, I've never tried.
Oh, man.
I don't even think I've gotten to... Oh, no, I've gotten to top of Diamond, because I got the Diamond for Master Diamond.
Yeah, you did do Diamond for Diamond, and then, yeah, that's where you stopped trying, apparently.
That was the last time that I did ranked. So, yeah.
Long-ass time. Do you reckon you'd change back and start playing it again if Tier Element gets addressed? Like, do you find...
yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's your biggest thing is, like...
Yeah, I just don't like playing or playing against Tier Element. It's like one of the least fun decks I've ever had to play against.
That's fair. That's fair. So, while we're still chatting about Master Duel, they have brought in a recent update as of July 27th, all to do with the upcoming WCQ. So you get a login bonus for like up until the 31st to get some WCQ sleeves for your deck, sort of the red and white theme. They look kind of nice. There's an events page in-game where you can apparently watch along once it starts, the actual like prelims.
I wonder what it's going to be like to watch that live.
Well,
I'm going to find out.
Well, that's the thing. I think it'll probably be a similar thing to the current Duel Live, or maybe like rooms. Like, so it can be one of two, right? So it's either what it's like in Duel Live, where it's like pre-recorded, and you just get to watch what actually happens.
Yep.
Or it'll be like rooms where you watch along as like, you kind of like what you do in Duel Live, where you watch along, but then once it catches up to current game, because like it slows right down and you're watching it action by action.
Do you reckon they'll have the timer for Worlds? The turn timer?
I mean, maybe.
Like, I'm curious as to whether or not they just run through the game as it is, or whether or not they make modifications to be like, oh, it's Worlds.
Well, you'd hope there'd be some level of modification. Time, maybe not. But what we brought up a couple of weeks ago now, I think, is like the imperm column. Like, I feel like at least at a Worlds level event, that feature probably shouldn't be there.
No. Not at all.
But at the same time, it's like you're already getting a lot of read of what your opponent has, because the second you go to do something and they have anything in their hand, you get a level of knowledge.
I'm assuming that everyone will just be playing with Always Chain on.
But even if you don't have anything, I don't think it like flips back over.
Oh, true.
Like if you don't have anything to do,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like constantly checking in with you.
Hey.
It's not like the Game Boy.
Hey, do you want to look at the board?
But that's the thing. It's not like the
at the board?
Game Boy games, because if you had Always Chain on in the Game Boy games and you press the button, it'd be like, you have nothing to do. Would you like to look at some cards?
Okay, nice. Maybe that's the way to work.
Maybe. But it'll be interesting to see how it all goes, because those are 3v3s as well.
Yes. Which is, gonna be weird, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, this is the first WCQ for Master Duel as well, so it'll all be
WCQ, just World Championship.
So, WC for Master Duel, so it'll be very interesting to see how they decide to do it. There is also a voting system for your team, because each team is...
for Team Bowden.
Well, yeah, I haven't gone on and voted yet. So for voting, you get a packet to a legacy ticket and some other things. no one really cares about that. But 250 winners who voted for the winning team will be selected in a lottery draw and receive 2,000 gems.
That all of a sudden seems like a huge fucking waste of my time. I thought if they just won, I'd get some gems. Not I'd have to then win a lottery to get...
But it's still 250 people
$15
from
worth of gems.
those that voted.
Yeah, but like... Yeah.
But also, you don't lose anything from voting. It's not like you had to pay. Like, it's not a lottery.
I had to figure out where it was and check what team vote was on.
You poor thing. You had to navigate a website. Are you okay?
I did have to navigate a couple menus, and, you know, some of those menus made me a little uncomfortable. So...
you can change your vote freely during the voting period. So if you're
the voting period closes before Worlds, though.
Up until the 4th.
Oh, yeah, well before.
Yeah. Like, you can't wait for the team you voted for to lose and then change
like,
it.
Change now. This
isn't the World Cup. Like, you can't just swap teams once your team gets eliminated.
Lethal is on board. He's like, change.
Okay, so what else have we got? You can also find information about members of each team and voting for the page. The rewards. Oh, so this is what you get for your having... Oh. Yeah, because you get extra stuff if your team goes well. I think the 2,000 gems is like an extra thing. Yep. So if your team's in top 8, you get a Legacy Pack ticket. Top 4, you get another Legacy Pack ticket, but you get a Glossy Super guaranteed. Yeah, I think there's 10. So two groups of people just go, runner-up gets a Legacy Pack ticket with a minimum Royal Finish SR and a second SR guaranteed, 2 packs of that. And then the winner gets Legacy Pack with a Royal Rare UR guaranteed and another guaranteed UR, plus the bonus gems that get selected.
Okay.
Besides that, we also have a couple of things that have been added. So some punk sleeves, no one cares about those. But we do get 2 new secret packs. So one of those is Guardians of the Secret Summit. So it's just giving Sword Soul a pack because they didn't have one before.
Okay, it's fine.
Because they were only in the selection pack. So like if you didn't get them at the time that the selection pack was there, you had to craft them individually.
That deck should just not be existing anymore in that game.
Oh, the deck's fine.
We are probably hitting the point now where it is now completely useless. But
Protoss is still very much legal. You can just Protoss people out of the game.
Guess what? I didn't pay attention to that. When I was playing Sword Soul at the time, I just assumed Protoss was banned. And I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Sword Soul's fine. It's fairly benign until you get Protossed, and then you're like, oh dear.
It's fine. It's fine.
The second pack that's been added is Ultimate Traditional Art. This is the Punk pack, because similarly, they were only in selection.
That means that we're getting Gold Pride soon.
Gold Pride.
Woo!
I mean, maybe. They tend to turbo out some of the TCG archetypes into...
What's the one before Master Gold Pride?
The Bugs. Wait, was it the Bugs?
Oh, so... No?
Oh, no, Goaty.
And that's in Master Duel.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tend to add these pretty quick. And most of them end up getting a solo mode because I feel like because the OCG hasn't interacted with them before...
We need to learn.
Yeah. Let's just give you this so you can work out what it does.
There was this team, and they were the Gold Prides, and all their supporters just yelled Gold Pride.
They're not filming our locals to do the solo mode.
Everyone around the world yells Gold Pride when they see Gold Pride cards, Jake.
Do they?
They do. I've seen it.
Well, I was about to say we'll find out at Worlds, but A, no one will be playing it at Worlds, B, no one can play it at Worlds. Which we'll get to in a second. But they've also added some bundles. So these are predominantly aesthetic things. So you can either get the bundle with the Legendary Dragon of White or the Legendary Magician of Dark. So you get like the background, the sleeves, the icon of that. And then in addition to that, you also get 5 master packs.
Okay.
And I think it costs 700. I think I did it when I was drunk last night. I'm not 100% sure.
I'll do it right now.
But yeah, like it's a cool little aesthetic piece, and you get some packs for it. So I appreciate when they do those with packs, because when you're just buying aesthetics, it's like, this does very little for me.
I'm not at all concerned about the fact that this may stop the audio recording, but it's fine. If it stops the audio recording, too bad.
I mean, just speak loud enough that you might be able to hear it off mine.
Exactly. Continue.
Despite a lot of speculative lists having come out in the past couple of weeks, they have finally released an official World's Ban list.
600 gems.
Is there only 600?
600 gems, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a massive list, in fairness. I haven't looked through the entirety of it, but a lot of it's just either stuff that hasn't been released in certain regions, there's a whole list of vanillas that just have not been released in TCG.
Yeah,
including Royal Guard.
Not the Royal Guard.
That actually upsets me.
Cockroach Knight's legal. It's fine.
It is, yeah.
So is the Prisman.
Yeah. There was nothing that stuck out to me as being like, oh yeah, no, they've definitely banned that for like...
the life point Bernie cards being legal is interesting. It's like, every year we've always been like, that doesn't matter. And every year it goes to time.
Yep.
And here we are. What was the last Worlds? Was that Salamangreat versus Borderstun?
I think so.
And Bowden lost the final, calling fucking...
Yeah, because the opponent desires
calling
to banish...
Cyber Dragon off World of Live Obedience, yeah.
Was it Cyber Dragon he called?
Yeah.
No, hang on, no. That...
Because he got boarded.
No.
Or was this the year before?
Bowden was playing Altergeist.
So it was the year before?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
But yeah, there is a list. The link's in the news portion if you want to actually look into it thoroughly. It is massive, so get comfortable. Besides that, we have some product stuff. Actually, no, before we move on to that, Duel Links. You remember Duel Links, that thing that people still do?
It still exists?
Yeah. So they're also doing a WCQ...
they have a Worlds, don't they?
They do have a Worlds.
They do have a Worlds.
Yeah. But they also have a little campaign going for people to get them involved. So that starts as of tomorrow until August 5th. And they get some tickets and stuff, and similar aesthetic stuff to what they did in Master Duel with the two match-winning Blue Eyes and Dark Magician things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing major, but also that whole thing is redundant, so who cares? So, some product stuff that's coming up. We've got the next run of Lost Arts that are coming very soon.
I have completely lost track of
I'm
what
so
Lost Parts
behind. I think I'm like, I was at a point where I was missing like 3, and I would have had to go to eBay to get them. Now I'm pretty sure I'm missing like 10.
Yeah. It's getting rough.
And I don't know why they keep going with it. Like, can they stop? Like, the more they do, the less significant they become.
Yes. Or at the very least, they should have just done like... they are doing one every month, isn't it supposed to be that?
I mean, yeah, that's the way they build, but like, we seem to just get like 5 packs at a time.
Yeah, we seemingly just get them in an entire batch load.
Yeah. So the ones that are getting done in this most recent batch are Mitsu the Insect Ninja, Grand Convergence, Macrocosmos, Dark Ruler No More, Masked Ninja Ebisu, and Magician's Salvation, which I thought was a weird one, because I can't think of what they've altered on that, unless DMG was naked.
Probably.
I think it is legitimately a cleavage thing.
Yes. It probably is. Dark Ruler No More is interesting.
Well, that one's purely because Dark Ruler Hades is on it, and they generally edit out his horns.
Okay. Yeah. I got hit with Dark Ruler in Master Duel the other day, and it did and I was like, okay.
Oh wait, yeah, no, that's
the thing
that's a
where
recent
the head pops up and shoots the laser beam, and I was like, oh, that sucks. Activate Tidying Bounce, and my opponent went, oh yeah, that's a thing, scoop.
Grand Convergence actually looks really nice. It's like a whole planet lineup type thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, you can see a bit of it just
that's
there.
neat.
Yeah, it looks nice. I don't know what Grand Convergence actually... Oh, wait. Oh, that's the board wipe if you have macro on board.
Sure.
Actually, what did they change about macro?
They didn't believe in planets, so other planets now exist on the card.
Imagine they changed it because Pluto's no longer a planet, and they took they took Pluto out. Oh my god.
Could be.
I don't know if it is the reason, but fuck, I want it to be.
Maybe Macrocosmos is
God.
just more shredded though.
Yeah, he does like seem
Maybe
borderline
he's just-
anemic.
Yeah, maybe he's just more shredded.
Like, yeah, that's odd.
We
And
can't
then-
show the kids ripped man.
And I
We gotta turn them into Josh.
Oh, and Masked Ninja, I think, is throwing bombs, which he wasn't before.
Ah, instead he was throwing cupcakes.
Yeah. Who
It
doesn't?
was
throw
like food for
cupcakes?
you.
What was the other thing? Oh, just as we've finally had OTS 21 put into our hands, we have the announcement of OTS 23.
Enemy controller?
I don't mind it.
Like, I get it. And again, I also don't mind it. But it's a bit late in it.
Look, it could be coming up in future formats. You never know. It's one of those.
Just
like,
left the format.
Well, that's the thing. It's one of those side cards that's like, for 3 months of the year, it's good, and then
The
you have
rest-
to wait another 9 months for it to crop up again.
3 months of the year, I would argue 3 months of the 5 years.
Look, it's fine.
It's like the last time it was playable was zoo format.
The one, well, no, some people were playing it in like,
Striker?
no, not Striker. What's the other one I was thinking of? I've lost it. There was a point where I think it was even in our most recent OTS. Not OTS, YCS
Yeah, people play it
for
in...
Sprite.
No, you play it in Kashtira.
Yeah,
It's a very common Kashtira card for the mirror match. That's why it's getting the print. But
Yeah,
Kashtira
even though-
hopefully will be banned by the time
true, very
it
true.
becomes a thing.
The other random thing I thought about this is like, although it's like a generic card and they've had generic cards in the past, like impermanent stuff, they sort of lead with that as like, oh yeah, this is the card. This one doesn't seem at the same level as that.
Better than Branded Fusion.
How the fuck dare you?
It's better than Branded Fusion.
I really like Branded Fusion. I didn't think I would.
Like, why did they... I guess it's because you... No, fuck it. My logic doesn't work here. I was going to say, why did they not just print it in the last set instead of Thrust? And then I was like, oh, well, they wouldn't want to print two spells. And I'm like, Thrust is a spell. Why was it not in this set instead of Thrust? Thrust should have been in the next one.
Before.
Yeah, but Thrust should have been in the next pack.
But then where would they put Econ?
In this pack. So 22 should have had Econ. 23 should have had Thrust.
No.
Yeah.
No. I can understand why they had Thrust and Branded Fusion in the same, because Branded Fusion is purely archetypal.
Just had random thoughtable. We're on to OTS 23. Remember back when we had OTS 8 and we were like, oh, I wonder what they're going to call the next one?
Yeah,
They changed the name every time.
There was a whole thing where,
don't
like,
count to
once they
9.
get to 8, yeah, they just don't know the number 9 or above. But clearly the person who didn't know 9 and above got fired, and they brought in a new dude, and he's like, I know all the numbers. You're hired.
Yeah. God damn it. Also, it didn't exist at the time, so this wouldn't have been a thing they could have done, but they should have put a common version of the number monster that associates.
Oh,
But,
that
like,
would have been a cool
We didn't
concept.
have number 1, 2, 3, 4 back when OTS 1, 2, 3, and 4 came out. So
True.
it would have been a cool thing to have been able to do at the time, and they should start it now and just do a common version of number 23.
No, instead of putting like all the random shit commons in there that nobody wants, just go back and start doing all the ones that you missed.
To be fair, Morphtronic...
Fuck your Morphtronics.
There's a Morphtronic in this in like OTS 22 that very much needed a reprint.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to seeing that in 9.5 years.
Jake, you got FTK by that deck the other day.
Well, A, we don't know if he cheated. B, I don't care. I opened unplayable. I was getting beaten by anything I was versing.
Yep, and you lost.
Anywho, I didn't lose today. Well, I lost a couple.
Yeah, I didn't lose today.
Oh no, I only
Except
lost.
for all those games that I lost.
No, I lost. No, I only lost one round to Jordan. Everything else I won.
Yes. Easy wins.
In other news, we have a release event for the upcoming Red Dragon Archfiend structure deck. So they've got a specialty mat coming out for it, as they tend to do for some of the structure decks, and it's of the Red Dragon Archfiend retrain card that cheats out the OG when it leaves the field. It actually looks really nice. It's actually, now that I've got them like effectively side by side, there are similarities.
I was going to say, it looks like this, doesn't it?
It looks kind of similar to this.
This is
yeah.
Jack Atlas in the foreground.
No, it hasn't got Jack.
Oh, that one doesn't have Jack Atlas?
No. This one is literally just the dragon.
Oh, I thought that blur to the right-hand side was Jack Atlas.
No, that's its...
It's like the lens flare.
It's the lettering for the sample.
Wait, no. Okay, yeah. I thought that was Jack Atlas. I thought that A was Jack Atlas. A is for Atlas.
Jesus Christ.
See, it is there.
Do you want to borrow these?
Nah.
Good, because I need them. I am so blind. Couple other bits. So, in some things in the OCG, they've updated that you are now allowed to surrender.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't a thing, was it?
Yeah, they weren't allowed to.
I don't think you're allowed to surrender at Worlds still.
Quite possibly not.
Yeah, or you have to like request a judge call and then be like, I wish to surrender. And then it is confirmed that you surrender.
I mean, I don't think it should be that problematic. Like, strategic surrendering should be allowed.
Yeah.
Like, if your opponent just opens the nut, you've opened no hand traps, and no matter what you do, you're not playing through that. I think it should be a thing where you can go, yep, I scoop, let's go to game 2.
No more.
Because at least then you've got something going for you. Because if you just go in with like, oh yeah, normal summon Alistair into your fucking full Kashtira board with triple hand traps, it's like, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, being able to conceal some knowledge of like what your opponent's playing against at least gives you a bit of a swing back into game 2. Because if he doesn't win game 2, he's done.
Surely though, at a world championship level, it's a case of being like,
don't play Alistair for starters.
Like everyone would know what you're playing. Because there's only 24 players in the room, and you've got an entire day to walk around and look at what everyone's playing.
Well, I wonder if there is that as much of that at Worlds as what there would be at like a YCS, or whether they do try to be like, yo, go sit down.
No, it's just an open room. It's just like table.
I reckon it should all be screened off.
Like each individual booth.
Like, eventually you will get to a point where everyone knows because everyone will just tell everybody else.
Your teammates or your friends or
See, but
your
then
countrymen.
another strategy comes into it. And you lie. He's on Pearly, bro.
No, he's playing Angels.
Don't besmirch my Angels. I already shit-talked Alistair, and now you're bringing my agents into this?
Yes.
How dare you? You bastard.
Opponent normal summons Agent of Mars.
Oh god, they deserve to lose. Mars is terrible. The only one you actually... three. There's only 3 you play. Maybe 4.
5.
No, 4. Definitely 4.
Okay. Definitely just 4.
The 2 Venuses, Earth, and the new one, Mercury, that cheats one out.
Okay. 5? We'll put Mars in there as well.
No!
We'll put Mars in there.
Put Jupiter, if anything. I feel like we're talking about fucking Sailor Moon now. But anyway...
Something by me. I don't know how that goes.
It was possibly...
No, continue.
No. I have this point to bring up.
Okay.
It was possibly one of the worst sung anime intros.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It was like...
That chick was flat.
She was terrible.
She like, hits the recording studio that day. It's like the 5th anime intro she's had to record. She's like...
It's so bad. But anyway, this is not the Trash Taste podcast. We'll move on.
Comment below what you think the worst sung anime intro is.
The last bit of news before I move on to questions is not too news-filled, but it is intriguing. So I think it was in the last couple of days that on the Konami OCG website, a countdown timer appeared. So it came up with the caption, new information on the 25th anniversary celebration project. And it seems to count down to like halfway through...
it's day 2 of Worlds at 1 p.m.
Day 2.
Day 2 of Worlds at 1 p.m. So I'm assuming that's when they're going to start Top Cut.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what that's actually all about.
I'm going to be in the room watching it live.
True. Except, will they have a translator for English?
Oh, I'll just be looking at the screen like just, guys, it's this. Trust me.
I don't know what this is, but it's there.
So, destiny.
Damn it. That's just for us. So, moving on to our Discord. If you weren't aware, we do have a Discord. Link will be in the
I think you're going to say what you thought it was going to be.
I have no clue. It's a celebration thing, so
yeah,
that's all I know.
A lot of people like new summoning mechanic. I think it's going to be some product.
Yeah, it'll legit just be some sort of product.
Given that it's on the OCG website and not the TCG website, it's probably just going to be some OCG product.
Yes. Yeah, it'll probably be their Christmas product, whatever that.
So like year end.
Yeah, they usually get like some special end of year thing, and we'll probably get an advent calendar.
Hey, we haven't had advent calendar for years.
Yeah, good. They're shit.
I actually kind of like them. Like,
see, I would like them more if there was also chocolate.
If they weren't as expensive as they were, I would buy 3 every year.
I mean, you could probably get some cheap at the moment. Like if you started
what I
ferreting.
did.
Yeah,
I just waited, and then after Christmas, there was places that had them for like a quarter the price.
And then in February, you're like, "Oh, second day of advent calendar."
On the first day of February.
So, as I was saying, if you weren't aware, we do have a Discord. Link will be in the description below. Feel free to jump in, say hi, and ask us questions. Thank you to everybody for having jumped in and asked us some questions, because it's looking very bare, and now we have multitude of questions, many things to chat about.
So many questions.
So many questions. First one comes to us from LJ, who I feel like is a new listener, or maybe he was last week. I'm not sure.
Competitor, Jake. Is LJ Hooker still in business?
No, we definitely have had this guy comment because
I've made this comment before.
No, Lachlan made this comment.
Oh.
But anyway, his question this week is: what Yu-Gi-Oh card do you think represents your personality?
Why is yours Alistair?
It's not. It's not.
Does the thing.
Oh yeah, the thing.
The thing. Yeah, you fuse all the time, Jake.
Alistair doesn't fuse all the time.
I've never seen Alistair eat his vegetables.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Genuinely never thought about this before.
Yeah, it's not something I'd thought about. Although I kind of like the idea of my personality being change of heart. Is like most people see me as the nice side when I'm like 9 to 5 working.
This is Jake on the outside. This is Jake on the inside.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. Rescue SA lifter.
I knew you were going to say rescue ace card. Oh yeah, you do that all the time, constantly. Second question this week comes to us from 656. Is a deck that only has at best a 2-card combo bad?
Yes.
I wouldn't think so.
Name one 2-card combo deck that's good.
Unchained.
Should have said Sword Soul. I gave it to you. You didn't say Sword Soul.
Ooh, fresh question.
As live podcast question asked.
Podcast.
Shocker. Depends on the format. There are formats where 2-card combos ain't gonna cut it. Because you're gonna get... Maybe you don't... If your board gets broken and you rely on 2-card combos to play, you've lost. The game is over. Yeah. Whereas if you're playing 1-card combos and your board gets broken, it's okay. You can play a 1-card combo and hopefully maybe come back.
Yeah, please see Cached Hero for more information.
Yeah.
Next question is from Samuel Davidson III. I recently made a fusion pile deck. What are your best pile decks? What is the most number of archetypes you could put in a deck? How do you define an archetype? Depending on how you define it, my deck has anything from 4 to 12.
Yeah, do you define an archetype as like playing the monsters, or do you define it as an engine?
Well, the archetype for me comes down to the name.
Yeah. Like, but if you're just playing, I'm playing 3 Sword Soul of Moye in my deck. I'm playing the Sword Soul archetype. I'd say it's like an engine. Like, even then you're playing worms and... Look, my brain's on Sword Soul apparently here. I don't know, like 60 card, Dragon, Synchro, Dark, Box, Piles are probably like the closest I get to throwing in like a shitload of different archetypes.
What's the most recent part?
With like zombies and a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
That's one...
It's all just getting your Sayuya so you can then get other stuff and go...
That's one deck that I actually regret that I didn't play at the time, was the like zombie Lunar Light
Lights on.
Yeah, all that nonsense. That
shenanigan pile.
Looking back on it, that looks so fucking fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Like one card gets disrupted, you're just like, the other engine, go.
Yeah, it was very much like that. Not like there was like you had the summon Sork and all that nonsense as well.
Yeah,
it was a little ridiculous, but kind of funny.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah. The only like pile deck I could think that I've played recently was on Master Duel, and it was like Punk Fairy, like Punkashizu, I think specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah, not that many archetypes involved, but it had some stuff happening.
When I was playing in that fucking Angels and Demons thing, the
Dan Brown Festival.
Yeah, the amount of lab decks that were just like, haha, I normal summon Midora. And I'm just like,
yeah, a lot of them are using
why?
the shufflers. Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
I think it was so that like if they're using the furniture pieces to discard, they would have like some advantage to it.
Okay.
Because Vernisilf was a big one in there as well, and like Vernisilf was playing the Millers as well.
Yeah.
So if they were playing the shufflers, they could put some of their good stuff back.
Okay. Sure. Anyway.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I couldn't honestly be bothered playing a pile deck in current format. I just feel like it would lose.
But now you can play some Elements in there, and you get some dragons in there, and you play a little bit of Synchron.
If I could find a list that I like in the current format, I probably would put together a tier pile with like Bestials and Ishizus and Light Swans and
you get a little bit of the Light Swan doesn't work now that we don't have Curious anymore.
Strippers and
boats and some hoes.
Next question comes to us from Rukasu. Should future decks and support be archetype specific to increase play of older decks? So we don't hurt older decks by banning key cards like Scareclaw and Super Heavy, and or only problem cards that could be OP like Verte or Crystron.
Go again.
Should future decks and support be archetype specific to increase play of older decks? So like when they bring out a new Crystron Halka Fibrax kind of card, lock it to the archetype.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think like if it's more than fine releasing stuff for older decks. Like that's kind of the whole premise of why Yu-Gi-Oh runs the way it does, is because every so often they release a card and it's like, oh, this actually makes this old deck busted. So making them more specific to the archetype does address a lot of the balance issues that they have until those decks become OP.
I like that we got the 3 pillar link supports, and it's like Halka Fibrax for Synchros, banned. Predaplant for Fusions, banned. Bujinki for Xyz, this card's useless.
I mean, I think the key card that got banned for Xyz is Trident.
No. Like I'm saying the link of the links.
Yeah.
Like they each got a core support piece, and the Bujinki just doesn't cut it. Yeah, imagine if it summoned a material from deck. Like
that'd be kind of bonkers.
One from grave, one from deck. Like that'd be cool. Instead, no.
Do you know what I feel like would be even better? Is if it was a quick effect to do that. Like not an on-summon effect. Yeah. Like you just had it sitting there and then off turn you're just like, whatcha?
Yeah, like Verte got to do it on turn, like off turn, or not as an on-summon. That's when Brain was going there. Yep.
Yeah.
But Jinky should have also had the same idea.
Yeah, look, probably. Next question comes to us from Melanie. What's the strongest Yu-Gi-Oh monster you could beat in a fight? Something quite small.
Answering for Lachlan, he could beat the Speedroid horse. I don't know. I could take Feral Imp in a fight.
Feral Imp?
Yep.
Interesting.
Imps aren't that big, Jake.
True, but then you have to deal with King of the Feral Imp, and it's just a whole thing.
Oh yeah, that does become just an ordeal.
Yeah.
Shows up and he's like, "Why you punch my child?" I'm like, "Sorry, King of the Feral Imps. Trying to prove a point here."
I could beat Pearl Lily.
Oh yeah.
Just kick it.
Yeah.
For the record, I don't go around kicking dogs. I feel like that needs to be said.
Gosh darn it.
The second part of Melanie's question. What would your stats, level, attribute, and type be as a Yu-Gi-Oh monster? Would you be in an existing archetype, or would you be part of a new one?
Nah, it'd be boring as fuck. It'd be like level 4 vanilla warrior, 1600 attack, 1200 defense. Earth. Just the most boring card you can have.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I haven't imagined myself in an archetype, so I'd have to get back to you.
Jake be
I
am a spellcaster.
I'm going to assume that I'm dark.
Dark spellcaster.
Yeah.
Done.
My effect would be, while this card is on the board, it also presents as a light monster.
Remember, unless you're a massively ripped dude, you're a level 4 monster.
True. Next question is from 656. What will it take for players to stop hating Sky Striker? Stop having the fan base be a bunch of pedos. Does the archetype need a retcon to where Ray and other women cards are obviously over 18? Or is it just hurt feelings from TOS format?
No, it need to be age gated.
Yeah, I don't think you can really go back and retcon it because it doesn't really solve the problem of the fans.
Yeah, especially when they were like, we're releasing a manga. She's 13. And everyone goes, oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. What, this body pillow? Don't stress.
Don't look at it. It's fine. Yeah, I don't think anything could really save the appearance of Sky Striker. They've doomed themselves, frankly.
Yeah,
Poe is like the only one that I'll forgive for it because he piloted the deck to an insane degree, even when it wasn't like 100% busted as well.
Good.
Like he was playing it even when it was at its weaker points.
Activate Mystic Mine.
There is that.
I activate Mystic Mine. Pass?
Yeah, I almost hate Sky Striker more
just because
for
they
its
just
Mystic
did that
Mine prevalency
Yes.
than its whole, I have 3 engage and I'll draw 17 billion cards.
Yeah, like,
I hate it more for that.
It's fine to play against now. Like, they can engage all they want. It's just like, okay.
Okay, Lightning Storm.
I'm just gonna kaiji you. Thank you.
Next question is from Jesse. Should OTS stores better allow? Should OTS stores better allow proxies, perhaps for the staples and the like? $250 to play props just seems wild and not conducive for young players or Dragon Duels. Seems pay to win.
No proxies.
The biggest issue with proxies, especially in an OTS store, is their whole thing is they want you to pay to play.
Yes.
They're there to sell product and singles, so allowing people to bring in proxies no matter what quality they are kind of defeats the purpose of what they're trying to do.
Fuck, I hate proxies so much.
Yeah, look, I understand the feeling of it because there are those occasional cards where you're like, fuck, I could really use proxy. Like, no, not proxy, prosp, and I just don't want to pay $300 for it.
We had this conversation at locals today before you got there where Jesse was like, oh, I would proxy this card, but I'm just going to play a 14-card extra deck. And then literally 2 seconds later, Leo was like, oh, I have that card. Here you go. It's like, it's not that difficult to get cards. And no proxies.
Like, the only place you could conceivably get away with it is here in Australia, where getting shit is actually really hard. And even then...
No, Brazil! No. We proxy in Brazil! Yeah, you end up with, like, people like Josh that are like, oh, I'm proxying this really easy to get common just because I can't be bothered.
But this is the thing. Pokemon corrupted him in that regard because
so much.
Everyone in Pokemon just runs proxies, which makes no sense because
unless you go
Pokemon
to a
cards
major
are
event, you
even cheaper.
Yeah.
Like staples for that game, like the entire raft of them, you can get them for $10.
My first ever Pokemon locals I went to. Spoiler, I win the locals, but I'm like, I am just gonna play like this like budget. It was a floodgate deck. I was like, I'm just gonna play this because like I don't have the Denays and I don't have this, and so it's fine. Like the Denay at the time was like $45. I was like, oh, I don't have them. I'll just play fucking Keldeo Control, the horned unicorn thing.
I feel like you don't need to explain what Keldeo is.
I was sure if I said the name wrong, so I was like, I'm gonna like specify what this was. And like I sat down round 1, my opponent was just proxying half their deck, and I was like, if I lost this match, I'd be really pissed. Like, if I was to lose to proxies, I'd be fucking furious.
Yeah, it would piss
Like,
you off.
I've paid for my stuff. Pay for yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my rant on proxies.
So yeah,
If you're testing with your friends at home, proxy. Yeah. If you're entering into a tournament, go fuck yourself.
Next question comes to us from Paul Pelican. What's the deck you felt the most pride over creating yourself and why?
Oh, I'm sure I've done this before. There was a time when I made Dragon FTK. That was funny. Like, it got around the fact that Gandora X was not written the same way as it was in the OCG, and I was like, just gonna figure out how to make this work. I got it to work, so I was pretty happy.
FTK brain, always firing.
Yeah, anytime that I come up with an FTK, I'm like...
It's been a while since there's been a fresh FTK. Ever since...
I just don't have the time to deck build anymore. I just don't have the time to sit down and be like, time to just come up with a new FTK.
All right, that's maybe not... Well, actually, the next couple of weeks you're busy. But when you get back, that's a nice bonding activity for you and your girlfriend. You can sit down and design an FTK together.
Sure.
You can add some cute vanilla cards in there to keep her happy.
Let's teach you how to not let your opponent play. Let's go.
I mean, what better way to learn how to play? You don't have to worry about what your opponent's doing.
You just win.
You just do your own thing. It's fine.
Just win.
For me, it's probably Metaphys. I was using it at a time where it was completely off the radar. I wish I'd used it in the Nationals event because I would have actually done really well if I'd had similar matchups. But ended up getting second in the regionals on Oceanics Day anyway, so it ended up being okay. But yeah, just the concept of Trickstar's whole thing is it banishes your hand under draw and you can't do shit, and it's like, oh cool.
Trigger.
Well, that's the thing, they all trigger next turn, so they don't even care that you're under draw, who cares? I'm not adding anything this turn anyway. Yeah, I wish I'd had the forethought to run it in the main event.
Yeah.
Because the deck that I took into the main event was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So bad. And then finally, last question is from Tuesday's Noob. Who will win the cricket and why is it England?
But it wasn't.
It's raining in Manchester.
Yeah, didn't you hear it was raining in Manchester?
Jesus. But that does conclude us all for tonight. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you are on a streaming service, feel free to favourite us. Really helps us in the back end. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Jump into the Discord, ask us some questions, and we will see you all next week. Peace.
Bye. Oh wait, no, we're still going.
Nope.
We'll be live from Japan next week, and the week after. Next 2 weeks, live from Japan. So tune in. We'll make it. Jake will be. It's gonna be strange. That. Bye.